Hi guys and welcome to my latest video. As usual, I'm going to apologize for taking such a while to make another video, but I've been really busy with listing, sourcing, the usual kind of things, plus normal life, so it's been a bit of a struggle, but I hope you guys enjoy the latest few items that I've sold. And I've got a few interesting items which are a bit out of my normal comfort zone, and so we'll get straight into it. The first item I sold is actually a regular item that I sell, I look out for. It's a PlayStation 1, but like I've mentioned before, this is what's called like the audiophile version. Now what that means is if you actually have a look at this photo, you can see along the bottom that you've got the yellow, red and white composite video cables, and this is kind of known as the audiophile version of the original PlayStation 1, and so you can charge a little bit more. I managed to get £25 for just the console, with the controller, but the controller was a bit manky. One of the rubbers on the thumbstick was worn off, but still, as a bundle with the cables, £25, no games, which is pretty good. So that's the first item I got rid of. Second item, again, is something I am quite familiar with. I picked these Nike fly knits up from a boot fair for, I think it was £2. Very lightly used, as you can see from the photos. They've got this kind of like curved banana shape. They're like little glove bits on the top, so they're very comfortable for runners. And so for £2, sold that for 35, so that's a pretty good one. And again, another regular staple for a lot of people, Nike Air Maxes. Again, this cost me £2. This actually had some kind of like a bite or some kind of a rip or something on the cushioning of the trainer, which is a bit weird. I'm not sure whether it was anything special, but it was just nice colours. But even with the rip, they sold for £35, so that's pretty cool. Now, the first item that I'm going to talk about that's a bit out of my ordinary sphere of things to look for, but keeps you on your toes, is a pair of Invacare wheelchair footrests. Now, I actually got these as part of a bag of what was meant to be cycling equipment from an auction. As the bag only cost me around £20, I think it was, and it had like a cycling helmet, pump, and some tools, which I got rid of, which quite easily. They sold pretty quickly, and it had this in there, and at first I didn't know what the hell it was. A little bit of research, I found out that these were by Invacare, and they're wheelchair footrests. Now, these have gone for £40. Now, I've actually seen wheelchairs go for £40 complete with footrests, so it's very surprising, but that just the footrests on their own do fetch good money. So if you ever happen to come across these, I know it's a bit of a rarer item, but I'm very happy with that, and I got £40 for that, so that's a good profit for me as well. Next item is something I have sold before again, but something you should definitely be on the lookout for. It's just a regular action figure, but it's a Marvel Legends Toy Biz figure from 2003, and this is the Beast. And as you can see, it's a very detailed, articulated figure. I've got like different shots of him standing there looking beast-like, and that's all for £20. Now, I paid £2.60 for him. Well, that's how it worked out, because I actually bought a job lot of figures. Lady was quite keyed up on the prices. She actually wanted a bit more, and she wouldn't haggle much, and she came down eventually to what works out £2.60 a figure. And I've got a bunch of other Marvel figures. Some are as valuable, some are not as valuable, but I think this one for £20, that's a good sell. Next item is the Pure Tempest One radio. I recently sold a Pure Evoke radio for the same money, £40. This one cost me a little bit more. I paid £10 for this, but still, from £10 to £40, still a good flip. So that's another decent sale I'm pretty happy with. So look out for DAB radios by Pure. You can try other brands. I'm not so au fait with those, but Pure definitely is a very good brand. These radios initially cost about £100 when they were first launched, so if you see them, the couple that I've seen have been sold to me for £5 and £10 and in great condition, so easy flip for 40 there. Next item that I'm pretty happy with, and I've mentioned before, is VCRs. Now, this is the Sony SLVE 920. I did actually make mention this in one of my haul videos. Now, it turns out in the end that unfortunately this VCR, the remote control had a few issues. Not all of the buttons on the remote control were functioning, which was a bit disappointing, but considering that it still sold for £80, I paid £2 for it, so I'm very happy with that. Here's another item that has been mentioned by Nick Hills and I'm sure many other people, and this is the Polly Pockets. Polly Pockets are definitely worth picking up. I paid, I think, the equivalent of £3 for this lot of Polly Pockets with little people. Put them up for 20 quid. Probably undersold it a little bit, but it sold very quickly, and that's what I wanted. So 20 quid, I'm very happy with. So that's a nice, easy sell. Now here's something that I'm really proud of. This is probably my favourite sale. Of recent times, just because it's something I've never really dealt with, and it's a bottle of Jay's Hennessy, and this is like a vintage bottle. The label's a little bit ripped. It just looked cool. It looked antique, you know, like an old school type thing that someone might want to display. The guy at the Boot Fair stall told me it was pre-war, which I was happy to believe. It has no actual year or anything, any date stamped anywhere on it, which is a bit of a shame. But considering that, I mean, I'm very surprised. I actually put this up at £40 on air offer because I had no clue. I paid, I think, £1 or £1.50 for it, and in the end, I settled for £25 on the global shipping program. And so for me, that is something that's opened up a complete new field of interest. So I can now try to look out for things like this. I'm keeping my eye open a bit more, and I'm gonna be trying to delve into these type of items more, because I think they can be very profitable, and you can make something look cool even if it's not that cool. If you wait long enough, I'm sure you'll make some money. I mean, I was surprised that this went within, I think it was a week or two of being listed, so very happy with that. Now here's something which is really awesome as well. I've mentioned CD players a lot of times, and I still say if you see them, pick them up. Now this is a Bose CD player, so I was actually expecting this to sell for a lot of money, but the guy only asked me 50p. I got it home, and the reason why I'm guessing they only asked 50p was because it's broken. It just constantly says lid open on the screen, as you can see in the photo there. However, bearing in mind I only paid 50p for it, I sold it for parts not working, clearly stating that it just says lid open, and it sold for £10. So fantastic. Here's something else which is kind of new, but still in my comfort zone. It's electronics. Picked up these Motorola walkie-talkies, absolutely fantastic. Sold them for £25. Paid a fiver for these. One of the rechargeable batteries was dead on it. I mentioned that, but they still works fine with regular AAA's or whatever it took, and so that's a nice sale from 5 to 25. Here's something I'm really happy about. I've been sitting on Pokemon cards for an absolute eon. I just could not be asked to go through and fix them. One day I got my finger out, decided to actually do it, worked out the weight of a regular card, and worked out roughly how many regular cards I had, got rid of all the training cards, got rid of all the stadium cards, all the crappy cards basically no one wants, and so I just did a massive job lot of over 850 cards. I found that I had 58 shinies slash hollows, whatever you want to call them. Took a few photos of them, stuck it up there, and got £80. I think I paid £18 for overall, because I was collecting cards over the season last year, and I just ended up with a stack of these, and I made very good profit on them. So definitely, if you see Pokemon cards, as long as they're cheap enough, and as long as you've got some shinies and you know that they're not fake, you'll be able to tell if they're fake or not quite easily. Got £80. I'm very happy with that. That's one of my things I'm really happy about. Now here's something else which I'm stoked about as well. New rock boots. I'm not a goth or anything like that, and there's nothing wrong with goths. I think they're pretty cool, and I actually wore these boots around the house for a day just because they were so freaking awesome. They remind me of Gears of War. I felt like Marcus Phoenix in these massive goth boots. They're by New Rock, who make really high-end, high-quality footwear for people that are into that kind of scene. They've got a lot of metal. They've got like little demons on the front. They've got like they just look, buckles everywhere, good quality leather. Now I paid at Boot Fair £25 for 2 pairs of these New Rock boots. Now this pair actually has suffered a dog bite or something. As you can see on that shoe there where the mouse pointer is, you can see that it's been bitten. However, it didn't affect the zip or anything, and I didn't mention it. Now I paid £25 for 2 pairs, and I've got another pair for sale at the moment, which I'm sure will sell at some moment, and I got 80 quid back on these. So it just shows again, buying something that you normally wouldn't buy. This isn't a massive departure from what I normally do. Like you guys may know that I do sell a lot of footwear, but this is this is definitely something I would have had to think about, because dropping 25 quid at a boot fair for a pair of boots that you've never had any previous experience with, you just going on the fact that they just seemed amazingly well built and they just looked freaking cool. Like I said, I walked around in these were my size 10, and they were fantastic. And if it wasn't for my daughters telling me I looked like a plonker, I probably would have tried to keep them. But sold for 80 quid, and I paid, well, 25 quid for two pairs, so £12.50 a pair. So that's a really great flip. Even though they're really heavy, so you had to pay like £5 or something like that postage. So bear that in mind when you're working out your profits. Here's another item that I have sold before, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for. This is a Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS V2 joystick. Works on PlayStation 3 and PC. Very simple to test when you get these home. You plug them into your PC, go into the control panel, select controllers and properties, and you can just move the stick around, press all the buttons, and if it moves the cursors on the calibration screen on your PC, you know everything's working fine, and you can sell it with confidence. And so I paid about £2 or £3 for this and sold it for 30. Very happy for that. So that's something again to definitely keep an eye on. And ending on another faulty product, this is actually it just shows you that vintagey stuff has value. This is a really old school Philips CD player. And you can tell it's really old school from its design, but also the fact that if you look at the back of it, it says made in, well, you won't be able to tell from here, but it does say made in Austria. So you know that this is made back in the day when and it's got a really cool battery mechanism. It takes 4 AA batteries, pops out, fantastic. Now, I did pay £2 for it because I was hoping it to work. If this was working, I would have probably asked about £40–50 and just left it and waited. As it was, it turns out that I could only get the audio to work sporadically in stereo. It would only work in one channel, and sometimes you'd need to pop the battery out and pop it back in to get it going. Probably the age of the item, but still I sold it for £15 for parts not working. So that's, if you think about it, very recently I've sold 2 faulty CD players for a total of 25 quid, with a total spend of £2.50 on that. So still good profit. And so pick up CD players, even if you think they're faulty, it may well be worth bundling a few and selling them. So that's something to think about. Well, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed that run through of some of the more recent items I've sold. As you can see, I'm trying to focus on like slightly higher value items. I mean, Joe Chris Pines talks about that an awful lot as well, trying to make sure that what you are selling is of value. However, don't discount the smaller items, because even if you pick up something for 50p and sell it for £10, you're still going to be making a profit. Just be aware that you're going to have to turn that over a lot more regularly than, for example, if you're selling higher value items, obviously. So as long as you bear that in mind, you'll be fine. So really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments, questions about the products, the items, leave them in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And in the meantime, if you liked the video, press the like button. If you disliked it, press the dislike button, and comment and sub for more videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.